What is up, guys? What is up? We are Morbid Curiosities and we're back. We're here. We're finally doing it. I'm Nicholas Ewers, and with me is the lightweight champion of the world, the morbid mistress of mayhem herself.
Mercedes Martinez. And may I say, I've had quite a few people start calling me like Mistress of Darkness. And I'm just thinking, are they saying that because of the podcast? Like I am all for that. So that was a good name you gave me.
Hell yeah, you got your own fan base. That's pretty sweet.
It's a little nerve-wracking, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've yet to hear anybody call me anything. Nick is usually what they call me, and I'll accept it for now.
They're thinking noodle.
Oh man, I know. Yeah, they are. Well, guys, we've been doing this Chucky thing for a while. I'm sure you've all been listening, and this is the episode you've been the most excited for. Everybody's a big Child's Play 2019 fan. Yeah, everyone's a big fan of this remake that we're about to talk about. Yeah, it's pretty it's pretty cool to be here. I'm happy to be at the end of this Chucky journey. It sucks we're kind of going out on not the best note, but I think we're going to deliver the listeners one of the best episodes in the history of this podcast.
No pressure, man.
This is going to be the best thing associated with this movie.
Associated with this movie, yes, I completely agree.
People are going to reference this podcast and they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, have you watched the movie that episode is based off of?" And people are going to be like, "Yeah, I watched that." So we're going to change the world with this one.
Yeah, definitely. So, spoilers ahead for Child's Play 2019. Nick, start us off with this. What did you think of this movie?
So yeah, I thought this movie was pretty bad. I I didn't love it. I gotta say, maybe not even the worst of these Child's Play movies. We're gonna rank all of these at the end of the episode or near the episode, guys. So stick around for the full thing. That might be a pretty divisive part of the episode, or we might have the same exact rankings. I feel like that's a possibility.
I think they'll be similar, but as we all saw, or well, heard with Seed of Chucky, that changed your life
Hmm.
in the best way possible. And I'm over here hating the movie so much, and jaw dropped when you just came out and was like, I enjoyed the fuck out of this movie, or whatever you said, basically. So, yeah, it'll be slightly different.
Seed of Chucky made me a born again Christian. Um, it changed my life. I'm here to preach about it now.
You're gonna lead a cult now for
Yeah.
Seed of Chucky.
Yeah. Guys, we're a little tired today. Let's just say it's like 2 a.m. right now when we're recording.
Yeah,
We
let's
put
say
in the
2 AM.
Yeah, we put in the hours for you guys. We've just the man hours. But back to the movie at hand. I'll talk about a few positives. I have a little bit of an appreciation for what this movie is doing. It is a full-on remake. It's not just taking the movie and doing like the original 1988 Child's Play and doing some kind of recreation or some pale imitation. It's trying to actually take the concept of the movie and remake it. So I'd like to give it credit for that. I do find it a little weird. There's remnants of Don Mancini's original script in this movie. Hearing him talk about it in the doc of Chucky and then watching this, it's not a one to one, but it's still kind of there, which feels weird because Don Mancini and Universal have no attachment to this movie. It's just Orion who did the original Child's Play. So part of me was like, did Orion just go like, hey, we'll just dust off this old script. We have the rights to the Child's Play name, and fuck it, we'll just do this and capitalize on this like remake, this like horror remake craze that was like happening around the time of this movie and that is still happening to this day. Maybe it's never ended, maybe it's always been happening. But I find all of that very weird, but I do appreciate the fact that it is a true remake and it's trying to do something different than the original. what it does is pretty bad almost all around. This movie feels tragically miscast. Nobody really seems to be knowing what they're doing. Aubrey Plaza is kind of just all over the place. Like one moment she's her Parks and Recs character. The next moment she's like very openly just banging this like guy in front of her kid, like not even really caring, but she's like playing it as like I'm the cool mom, but the movie doesn't understand that's not really cool and it's probably
Mhm.
traumatic for your kid to deal with. She keeps saying there's stuff weird about Andy, and it's like Andy's kind of a normal kid. He's pretty chill. He just hangs out on his phone. That's like better than a lot of kids nowadays.
Right.
It's like people keep saying things about Andy, but the movie's not really showing it. Brian Tyree Henry, I love the guy so much. Paperboy, go watch Atlanta if you guys haven't. I don't know how he keeps ending up in like such bad movies. Not all of the movies he's in are bad, but he's slaving away in those goddamn King Kong disasters, the Godzilla King Kong disasters. I know I'm going on forever, but it sucks to. I mean, good for him. Get paid, dude. He actually is probably the best performance in the movie, in my opinion, as Detective Mike. And then just last thing I'll touch on is Mark Hamill's performance as Chucky. It's so just is this the worst thing Mark Hamill's done? Is this his worst voice acting credit? This is the Joker. This is Luke Skywalker. What have we reduced him to? He sings a song at the end of this. I fell asleep to it. It was pretty bad. It haunts my dreams, and it goes on for a while, and then it's at the end of the credits. It's
But you fell
obnoxious.
asleep to it, that means you consider it a lullaby now.
Oh yeah, it's more like a fucking sleep paralysis demon. And I'll pause my shitting on this movie at the cast. You wanna take it from there?
Yeah, I remember when it was coming out, like I told you a little bit about how or wait, no, that was actually a different one. But no, when it was coming out, I wasn't too hyped on it because I was just wondering why are they going to remake Child's Play? It's perfectly fine on its own. And then when I watched it, I could not stay focused on it because of how stupid I thought it was, and I understand they were trying to get into, like, the techie side of it. "Oh, he's AI, he can control everything in your house," which kind of watching it now makes me laugh because the movie Megan, it's not really a spoiler, but spoiler, I guess. I don't remember how much, but when they were making the doll in Megan, they were saying that she's going to be close to how much a Tesla would be, if I'm remembering that correctly. So this doll, I'm wondering how much does this buddy doll cost for these people to go in this janky looking store to buy one for their kid and it basically be their Alexa in the house. But anyway, it was very strange. I could not latch on to any of the characters. I like Aubrey Plaza, but I do not like her in here. They kind of make her seem trashy. Andy's character, he's yeah, like you were saying, he seemed perfectly normal, but everyone's kind of the plot kind of makes it seem like he's a weird kid or just an outcast, but if you really think about it, they moved to a new city, so of course he doesn't have friends, and his mom's kind of making it seem as if he never has friends, so she bought him this doll to try to make up for them moving or blah blah blah. They don't even have like a good chemistry with each other as a mother and son. At least I didn't pick up on anything like that. Even in Child's Play 2, the foster mom had more of a motherly type of nature side to her than Aubrey Plaza did, but that could just be because I don't see her as a mother figure. So the casting wasn't great. The storyline in here was weird. I can appreciate that they were trying to take it in a different direction with all the AI stuff, but my god. I I hate this movie.
Yeah, hell yeah, let it out. This movie does try really hard to be different from the first Child's Play in a lot of ways, except for just the characters' names, really.
Yeah, exactly. You have all of the character names the same. I actually didn't remember that they had someone be Detective Mike Norris in here. That's just how little attention I paid to this movie when I first watched it. So watching it this time around, I was thinking, wow, they really brought in every character from the original except Maggie. That could be why they have her crappy boyfriend in here, Sean or whatever, just to kind of take the place of Maggie and be one of the first kills, but none of these characters were great. And were you gonna say something before I go off on the boyfriend?
I'll say one thing about the characters and then hell yeah, go off on Shane. I actually didn't know the cast going into this movie. I didn't watch a trailer. I didn't know what Chucky looked like. I knew nothing about it. I thought it was just going to be a one for one remake. When I saw Aubrey Plaza, I was like, "Oh my god, is this gonna be good? That's pretty cool." And then when I saw Brian Tyree Henry show up, I was like, "Damn, you got him? Like, fucking cool." I love him. I love Atlanta. He's in a movie, I think it's called 7 Days. I thought that was pretty good too. He's in a couple other, like, notable things, not just bad movies. Yeah, I was just like kind of getting on board because I had some familiar faces, and that does get the movie like to like half a star for me too. Right now, I've got it sitting at 1.5 stars, but the familiar faces did like give me a little bit of comfort. It felt good like seeing people, even though yeah, Aubrey Plaza is so just not doing anything I'm vibing with in this movie. But yeah, Shane, you got some Shane shit.
Shane, I called him Sean. Yeah, he oh my god. I just for one, I hate it when single parents nonchalantly flaunt their encounters with whoever they want to be with in front of their kids as if it's not going to, like you said, traumatize them in some type of way.
We meet Shane as an audience with them banging with in the kitchen or living room with the door unlocked, and Andy just walks in on them.
No kid wants to see that. No one wants to see that shit for one, but also he is in such a Andy's in such an awkward position because they just moved, so he's uncomfortable. He doesn't have friends here, and his mom looks like she is always working, and then when she is home, she is just with this douchebag of a boyfriend that she has. And I'm just sitting there thinking, what qualities about this guy does Karen find attractive in here or boyfriend material? Like, because he does not have a good personality. He seems very fucking like an asshole, pretty much. He's flat out mean to Andy, and she doesn't give a shit until he actually yells at him.
Yeah, make him like rich or something, or make it like Aubrey Plaza's just into married guys or something,
Something,
but
right.
he's hiding his family, his like wife and two kids from her. There's no appeal. And no offense to the guy or the way he looks at all, but like Aubrey Plaza's fucking hot. So it's just like give us like somebody believable for her to like be with or desire.
Yeah, he definitely looked way out of her league. So seeing them make out, just seeing them standing next to each other, that was such a strange looking couple to witness in this movie. So they definitely could have gotten a different character if they decided to bring this guy into the mix, but he's such a fucking asshole. Yeah, he just shits on Andy the entire time, and jumping into the way he dies, were you satisfied with it? I feel like I was, semi-satisfied with his death. What do you think?
It was very over the top. I actually can't say that I was disappointed with any of the deaths. I found the deaths pretty entertaining. His, I just felt really bad because it was, yeah, he sucked ass, but it's like he's taking down Christmas lights and Chucky knocks over. I can't even call him Charles in this one. There's like no
Charles
justification.
is dead in here pretty
Yeah,
much.
he's not even a character, which, side note, the naming thing I found so weird
Oh,
because
yeah.
he calls him, he's like, "What is my name?" And he's like, "Han Solo," which, did you just pick that because the voice actor is Luke Skywalker?
Probably.
It seemed like a weird coincidence, but then he's like, "Chucky? Okay." And I was like, that's a good bit, but
Right,
Han Solo was, like, a weird choice for a kid in 2019. You're telling me a 2019 kid gives a shit about Han Solo? Like, maybe, I don't know. It doesn't, I doubt it,
right.
but, he's, like, hanging up or taking down Christmas lights, and Chucky knocks down the ladder, and he falls and splits like one of his legs or whatever. It's like really gross, and he's tangled up in the lights. And his daughters, when they cut to his daughters, I was like, now I feel bad for the guy. Like, these kids aren't going to have a father. Like, he seems like he's actually good to them, and they seem like they like him. So, I don't know. They don't know how bad he is in his real life, but damn, they're just going to be left without a dad their whole life. He's just got his legs broken, and he's crawling away from this like big ass like snowblower. I think it is. Was it a snowblower or a lawnmower? It was a snowblower, right?
I thought it was something for the lawn, not the snow.
I couldn't tell because of the big blades. I was like, is it a snowblower? But and the Christmas lights too made me feel like it might have been, but maybe it was a lawnmower. I couldn't tell. But so anyway, he's about like this thing kicks on because Chucky like just makes it go after him, and fucking yeah, he basically gets his head all chopped up. It's so gross, and
He was scalped.
it was a very hard death to watch. I don't know if I had many issues with it because then they take it to the next step, and Chucky saws off his face because he watched like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and puts
Mhm.
it on a fucking watermelon, and then you get watermelon shenanigans. And I mean, the watermelon stuff may be the best part of the movie, honestly. And so if Shane's death got us that, then I mean, what are your thoughts on the watermelon death and Shane's or watermelon stuff and Shane's death?
So, I felt no sympathy for this man whatsoever.
What about his kids?
Even when they showed his 2 kids, look behind them because they heard something, I was just thinking, this guy, he's probably a shit dad anyway because the amount of times you see him with Aubrey Plaza in here, it just makes me think this guy is working and then going to see his mistress. He's probably barely home for his family. Even when he got home, you just see the kids wave to him, his wife doesn't. I'm assuming that's his wife. So, did not give a shit about that part when he died. I was happy that he died. It was funny because they are automatically cut to Andy waking up and then he's walking out. And when you see Shane's face, I was thinking, wait, that's not his face, right? I was confused. But then they show Andy run back and then realization hit me. That was very odd to see, but it was amusing. Just his facial expression and how his face still looked like his face. Like he still had his eyeballs intact and
Uh,
everything. That was that was gruesome, but I dug it. It was funny for a guy who's such an asshole. So I need to come up with a better word for this guy, but that's what he is, an asshole.
yeah, I had watched the movie with my girlfriend, and she like was like, "How did his eyes stay intact?" Like when they
Mhm.
put him on the watermelon, and I was like, it's just I don't know movie." I forgot what I said. I think I had some dumb justification for it.
It's
But
makeup effects.
Shane, his last interaction that he had with Andy, actually, I found like incredibly inappropriate. Where he like brings him into his room and closes the door. This is like what makes Chucky end up going and like killing Shane in such a brutal way. But Shane essentially like punks him out. He's like, "What? Do something, kid. Do something. You think you're tough?"
Mhm.
Because like Chucky, he scares him in the bathroom and he pees on himself, which it's like, okay, come on, guy, get it together.
Right.
Like you're peeing on yourself. What the fuck are you doing? Like on your face? It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah. Maybe he did deserve death then, if
he
he
did.
can't handle peeing in a toilet.
He did, he definitely did. And then Aubrey Plaza just defending her kid, saying, "Hey, if there's something going on with him, just let me know and I'll take care of him because you're not his dad." Just that little argument did not seem believable at all. I don't know, I don't like her performance in here. I like her in other movies, just I don't find it convincing for her to be a mom in this movie. I don't know if she's played a mother in other movies or anything. I haven't seen a lot of movies with her. The few that I have seen, I do like, just not this one.
Have you seen Ingrid Goes West?
No.
I love that movie. I love that movie so much. It's Aubrey Plaza, Elizabeth Olsen, and then I can't remember his name. I always fuck up his name somehow, but Ice Cube's son, he's in it. It's a great movie, so funny. One of my favorites. It's like a comfort watch for me. If you want a good Aubrey Plaza movie, don't watch this one. Go watch Ingrid Goes West. It's a fucking hoot.
Have you seen the to-do list?
I haven't, no.
Okay, she's in there, and that's what I pretty much know her from now. I know she was in Scott Pilgrim too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when she's in the to-do list, she plays such a stuck-up nerd, and then she wants to become very sexually active so that way she can lose her virginity to this popular guy that she likes. And just her whole journey on doing it is so fucking insane. It's a good laugh. It's so fucking weird. So, yeah, I mean, if you wanna watch a weird movie with Aubrey Plaza, go for that one too.
Yeah, Ingrid Goes West is pretty weird too. I just added that to my watch list. My Old Ass, that came out last year. That was really good. She was in Megalopolis last year, Francis Ford Coppola's most recent movie. It's giving a wild fucking performance in that one. If you want to watch a bad movie with a very interesting Aubrey Plaza performance. But to your point about her behavior in that scene when she confronts Shane, you just can't do that when your character is also, I forgot her name from Parks and Rec, but when she's also playing April. When she's April half of the movie, she can't be serious mom because April wouldn't have kids. April wouldn't want anything to do with it. You can't give me April and then fucking make her be serious mom. It just isn't, it's conflicting for me. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I've never seen that, but definitely did not buy that performance from her. Yeah, her presence in here just as a mother, I don't know, she could have been a different character in here if they really wanted someone else in here, but
She could have been Maggie. You mentioned she
yeah.
was cut out of the movie. They gave her death to the worker who reprograms Chucky and kills
Mhm,
himself. I was like,
mhm,
that's when I knew this was off to a rough start. It begins with a commercial, which, okay, makes sense. I mean, everything you're doing, Megan just did better a couple years later. It's
right.
like, I liked it when Megan did it. Like, okay, cool. I know you came first. You should have done Megan. Should have just been Megan the whole time. We have Megan 2.0 coming out this year. Everything should be Megan, but
Yeah,
she can dance. What can this guy do?
he can sing apparently.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how I knew we were off to a pretty rough start. Was when they give the awesome death that Maggie has in the first movie. Just they toss it off to this guy at the beginning who just kills himself in the background, and it's like almost played as like a gag.
Yeah, and then that was the reason, or he was the reason why the buddy doll in here turns evil pretty much because he basically programmed all of the standard settings in here, like he turned them off. I don't know. I just I didn't like the way that they had set it up. I understand why they were setting it up for that, for a buddy to be like this, but it just seemed too, what, formulated. I don't know. That whole have I mentioned I
It's
don't like this movie?
Yeah, it's easy, it feels kind of lazy, it's
Yes.
the most basic reach for going from the original Child's Play, which is kind of convoluted. They're like, a serial killer gets shot and is dying and does a voodoo chant and puts himself into a doll.
That is
Yeah,
epic.
yeah, and I don't say convoluted in, like, a derogatory way, but I would consider it pretty convoluted, but this one is just like, "Hey, what if we take that and just don't do anything interesting?"
Yeah.
It's like, let's just do the most obvious, basic thing, and yeah, then just begin the movie, and we're off to the races.
Let's go in on Buddy's appearance in here. So Buddy is the name of the doll. So he's supposed to be the Chucky doll. Well, yeah, he is Chucky. He is named Chucky in here. The doll itself is called Buddy. And I fucking cannot stand the way his face looks. He has like strange expressions when he does talk, even when Andy's trying to get him prepared to scare Shane and telling Chucky, open your mouth really wide, try to open your eyes really wide. He just looks like the kid YB from Coraline when his mouth was sewn open by the other mother.
Don't criticize YB.
I love the movie Coraline. I'm not criticizing YB. I'm saying that they were trying so hard to get this doll to look creepy, and he just looks strange.
Sidebar. Mercedes, you love Coraline. Next time it comes out in 3D, go see it in theaters. I highly recommend it. It is such a great experience. Same to the listeners, too, if you're a fan of Coraline.
I have been dying to go see it in theaters and in 3D. Well, I did see it in theaters, but I want to see it in 3D because so many people have talked about it. They just went on a date to go see it. I'm like, motherfucker, I want to go see it
Mhm.
in 3D. So yeah, definitely need to do that.
I saw it last year. So great. Great. Best use of the format is stop motion. Second recommendation Nightmare Before Christmas in 4DX. Great date night. They do that around Halloween. So, guys,
Mhm.
I mean, these movies, they make money when they're in theaters, so they're going to keep re releasing them. Go check them out while they're doing it. Great experiences, both of them. Great date nights.
Mhm. I even, took my husband on a date night, I think it was at the Congress Hotel? No, I can't remember, but it was somewhere downtown and, they were playing the Nightmare Before Christmas movie, but they had a full-on orchestra on stage playing the entire soundtrack. It was so fucking surreal. I was in heaven.
That's so awesome. Yeah, the 4DX is like a roller coaster that moves with the music. So if you're a fan of the
Mhm.
music, that really works too. Great experiences. Guys, go check these things out that we're talking about.
Hell yeah.
This is why it's the best episode ever.
Yeah, we're not even talking about the movie anymore. It's
Yeah.
always when we start talking about music or yeah, when we talk about music, that's when it starts to trail off for the better.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But this one came from the what I thought was YB slander at first, but I'm
Oh,
glad to know
no,
you're
I
a
love
fan of
YB.
YB.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love
what
YB.
should this be a YB podcast? Just the rest of it?
Like, I even got pissed off, at Coraline when she was just dissing YB, just calling him, "Why were you born?" Like, damn, man, this kid's doing nothing wrong to you. You're just being a little shit to him. But I
Hey,
love
but
Coraline.
yeah, Coraline, good insult, a
Mhm.
good style too. I'd like a Coraline doll.
Oh my god, yes. I love
Yeah.
all the I'm seeing a lot of pages on Instagram of dolls being created that have the Coraline aesthetic, well the other mother aesthetic. They have button eyes, they have kind of melancholy faces, and they have the stringy yarn hair and it looks so cute. I need one. I need one of myself. I need to start making
Ooh,
those.
I wonder if we could do a Chucky, like, in the style of Coraline, a Chucky doll in the
Ooh,
style of Coraline. That would be a good mashup. Listeners, make it happen.
hell yeah. Let's fucking go with that
Yeah.
one.
We'll put it on a t-shirt.
A t-shirt? No, man, we gotta go the whole fucking way and make the damn doll.
We will if a listener can make it happen, I mean, I'll do the research and I'll figure out how to get a doll how to get dolls made for us.
We need your guys' support on it. We didn't get too much support on Slaughterball, so that might be going down the drain. But if you guys want these little
Mhm,
dolls, the Chucky doll in the form of Coraline, let us know. Rate us 5 stars. Comment on our
mhm.
Instagram what you think.
Yes, hell yeah. I hope people do this. Give us the concept art and we'll bring it to life.
It can happen. We'll see
It'll ha it'll
if they're
happen.
listening. If they're listening. If they've made it this far.
They're listening. They're always listening. Um, the Coraline talk is what got them in here. They were like, "Oh, people are talking about Coraline?"
Mhm. We should
Yeah,
cover that.
I would. I mean, w we'll figure out a way to work it in. I mean, we'll find an excuse.
Because a lot of people that I have brought up, Coraline 2, they a lot of them have said, "Oh, that movie scared the fuck out of me," or "It was so disturbing. How do you like that?" One, how are you asking me of all people how I like that? But also, it wasn't that fucking scary, but the fact that other people think that, it can be in the podcast. It's
We
worthy.
we could do maybe like a quote unquote like scary kids movie season where we have like that, or and like I would put like Jumanji on there because that scared me as a kid. You know, we could make something work.
We can fucking put some episodes of Goosebumps in here. We have to. Oh my god. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. Let's
W-
get back to the movie here.
We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll make notes of it in our in our notes page. Let's not
Yeah.
forget to do that. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
listeners, you're getting a good one.
You're helping us brainstorm here. Tell us what you guys would want us to cover. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, throw some season ideas out our way. Like, let's get creative. I think that would be cool. Throw some concepts. We'll,
Mhm.
maybe put them on our in our docket or whatever.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hell yeah,
Um but did
Chucky's
you
ugly look.
Yes, did you like his look in here?
No, it was the worst of the Chucky looks. I gotta say, I did respect that they were doing something completely different. I thought that they should have went with the bear Chucky from the very beginning. Make that the look of the buddy. That looked cute and it looked scary. It was the most terrifying one at the end when shit was like hitting the fan. Those like razor blade drones and then those bear Chuckies were the scariest, but that was the best design out of all the buddies, and I kind of wish that was the one that we had to look at the whole time. I'm looking at the fucking like a picture of him right now the whole time we're recording, and it just looks fucking ugly. It's and not even like cool ugly like Bride of Chucky. It's just not good. No, it's not appealing. No one would want to own this. I appreciated the fact that they were like doing the face thing, but then it seemed like they were leaning into how ugly it is, and it's like, guys, what Tom Holland did so well about the first movie, the director we did not mention on that episode, what he did so well in the first movie is he took the good guy doll and that was cute and lovable and made it actually like frightening and scary, and it continued to be scary and get even more scary and fucked up as time went on and like gross, and this just doesn't work. It like Megan did it better.
The only thing that I liked about this Chucky is there were certain shots where he's standing next to Andy and it basically looks like a toddler is standing next to him. So even when Andy locked him in his closet, when he opens the closet, you see Chucky with his little knife and he just looks like a little kid in there, so I thought that was cute, I guess. And one thing that I did find a little, interesting was how the original Child's Play was supposed to be called Batteries Not Included, right?
Yeah, but Spielberg was doing a short or
Right.
something based off of that. I forget. Spielberg had that name and was using it already, though. Before Spielberg was even like the Spielberg we know today, I think he had done Jaws at this point.
I thought it was cool that in the original, you have Karen finding or seeing the batteries come out of Chucky's box. And then when she opens the back part of Chucky to find that he has no batteries, but then he starts talking. That was how that movie ended up. But this one, they have him with a battery in him, obviously, and then they need to take him out or take the battery out. I don't know. I thought that was a cool little correlation there.
No, I agree. I completely agree. I had some of the details wrong. I'm pretty sure about batteries not included. I just want to get on top of it. I think it was a made for TV movie, and Indiana Jones was something that Spielberg had made already at that time too. Maybe also Temple of Doom. I'm pretty sure he had done it by 88. But he wasn't the Schindler's List like I can make any movie Spielberg. I just wanted to get a little clear because I said some statements that may have sounded a little weird when they came out of my mouth.
Every statement that I say sounds weird, so
Hmm.
it's okay. At least you're checking your facts.
Yeah. What did you think about Andy's friends? They give him friends in this movie, something that the original Child's Play also doesn't do. This movie's hell bent on not being the 1988 Child's Play.
At first, I thought they were going to be okay, just a little band of misfits there, but then very quickly they turn on him. More so the guy friend Pug, which is such a weird fucking name.
And Pug was super obnoxious. He calls Aubrey
He
Plaza
was.
hot, which it's like, yes, we know that's true, but you don't say
You don't
that
gotta
out
say it.
loud. Yeah,
Exactly, especially to this kid.
unless you're on a podcast, then you get to say it.
And name Nicholas Ewers, then you get to say
Yes, me
it.
exclusively. I get to say it.
He was really obnoxious. He seems like he's definitely not going to be a loyal friend in the long run. The other girl, Fallon, she seemed okay. She was kind of to herself. She was there to help Andy when he needed to, get rid of the evidence of Shane's face on the melon. And
Yeah, they
oh
were
my,
super on board for that.
they did not need convincing at all. So at that point, I was thinking maybe they are going to be good friends. But then right when Andy's mom was asking, "Oh, did you two help with the gift that they ended up wrapping up?" And they were both just quick to say, "Nope, that was all him." Like, you fucking traitors. You just left him in the dark.
I thought that was
Craziness.
funny.
It was funny, but I was like, "Damn, motherfuckers just threw his ass under the bus right there. That's
They've
so
only
messed up."
known him for like a couple of days. It's weird that they were even on board to help to begin with.
Right, so that's why it's kinda it makes you think, where does your loyalty lie here? You went to help him with no question, but then you just fucking left him hanging right there.
And he has to do all of the melon stuff on his own, which I mean, we can talk about now, or do you have more to say about the friends?
No, we can talk about the melon.
So, like, they completely bail on the melon thing. Andy just comes up with a lie like, "Oh yeah, I'm giving it to the neighbor down the hall because she was helping me with homework," which it's like, "You've like never been over there. What are you talking about?"
Right.
and and that happens to be Brian Tyree Henry, the detective, his mom. And so Aubrey Plaza is like, "Oh, I'll come with you when you give it to her," which it's like, again, weird move. Why is she coming with? It doesn't seem like she has any doubts. Yeah, why is he coming with? And then I did like the move. Andy gives it to her and then it's like, "Oh, let's open it together at my birthday," which it's like, if you had to say something, that was a good card to pull. Didn't know you had a
True.
birthday coming up. I mean, again, this is hellbent on not being the first Child's Play because isn't it his birthday in the first Child's Play? In this one, it's like not quite his birthday.
Yeah, and here his birthday is a few weeks away apparently, so yeah, that little detail threw me off.
Yeah, and then I don't think, yeah, she never actually opens it because Andy comes over for dinner, and Brian
Mhm.
Tyree Henry seems like he's suspicious of Andy,
Right.
and Andy takes the watermelon and leaves, but it turns out Brian Tyree Henry's not because he's like, "Oh, kids don't even wanna listen to me," so I found that to be a little weird, but I like the
Yeah.
the melon shenanigans. I like a good melon.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do more with it or maybe even show it splattering open once he dropped it down the garbage chute thingy, whatever it's called. But they don't even do that. They just the next time they show it is when Detective Mike gets a photo of it, and then in there, the eyes aren't intact on the face on the melon. You just see the face itself,
They must have deteriorated. I don't
or
know.
that maybe they fell out and some bird ate them or something.
I don't know what happens to eyes after a bird ate them. I like that.
No, it was, because I was watching the show As Told by Ginger. I've been binge watching that.
Oh, man. What are you watching that on? I watched that as a kid.
It's on Paramount.
That's cool. Oh,
It
man.
is oh my god, watch it again. I would watch it a lot when it came out. I fucking loved that show, and I only got up to apparently the start of the 3rd season. I didn't know that there was more after that, so me and my husband were binging it, and then we just finished it the other day, but one of the episodes, small spoiler if anyone wants to watch this, there is a type of bird in there, and the little brother Carl, who's always up to no good, he has something to do with it. There is an eyeball involved, and they don't show it, but the bird eats the eyeball. So
Ooh,
that's what came to mind. Yeah, it was gross. They took
wow.
some weird ass turns in the last season. I will say, just watching it, they you're kind of left depressed at certain points. So fair
Did
warning
it
on that.
I remember it being like a very real show. I loved it and would watch it all the time. And they even had like a special, I don't know if it was a special episode or a movie episode where I think they go to camp or something like that
Yeah,
that
they
I
kind of
really
made it
liked.
in yeah, they made it into a movie, when it came out, but on here, it was just a couple of episodes that were split up. Um, yeah, that one, that was my favorite one. Yeah, but they have some really like I said, they have some really weird turns in the last season. It's still good, but at certain points you're just thinking, "Who the fuck wrote this? Why did they write this in here?" It's insane. You gotta watch it.
Did they all come out around the same time or was the last season made later?
I think that was right after she goes to this boarding school. So I could be wrong, but I thought it was consistently made because I need to look that up, but it was just a strange ending, I'm not gonna lie.
I remember it ending on like a cliffhanger and then not seeing anything else after this cliffhanger or something. Like they leave you hanging on something and then I just never saw the end of that show. That's how everything was. The Amanda show was like that. Hey Arnold was like a cliffhanger and it never got finality. At least Cat Dog had some finality. They meet their parents. It was nice.
This one, it does not leave you on a cliffhanger. They do seal it in altogether, but it's such a strange fucking ending. You notice that a lot of the episodes they start skipping details when they would go to the next episode, and you're thinking, "Well, what happened with this?" or "What happened they were fighting in this episode and now they're buddy buddy in here," you know? So in the last episode, they make a fucking big ass jump into another part of life, and yeah, so I want to stop talking about it because I'm going to give it all away. If anyone hasn't seen it and wants to watch it, please go watch it. It's such a great show.
It pulls a Rugrats all grown up. They end up going in the closet and they're grown up for a whole episode.
But it's so much better than that. Rugrats All Grown Up was such a fail, in my opinion.
Yeah. I feel like, All About Ginger, that was the name, right?
As told by Ginger.
As Told by Ginger. I feel like it ends in a really existential way or something. I feel like it probably becomes like the show Undone that's on Amazon Prime. Guys, if you haven't watched it, phenomenal show, one of the best pieces of television I ever watched. Go watch it. But had to just plug that in there. It's incredible. But yeah. As Told by Ginger. This was our As Told by Ginger podcast, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Rate and
Hell
review us
yeah.
5 stars.
Hell yeah. We're the Nickelodeon kids.
Yeah.
We need to bring all that shit back. The fact that we can access those shows now, oh my god, so nostalgic. It's
Mhm.
insane.
Hell yeah. The As Told by Ginge cast.
Yeah.
That's what we'll be called. Guys, blow up Mercedes if you want her to start an episode by episode breakdown of As Told by Ginger.
Yeah, I'd fully be down to do that. That would be so fucking fun, especially because now that I've finished the show, I just want to rewatch it from the beginning again. I think that took me maybe I would say a month or so to watch all of it. Probably a little less because I was watching it at night a lot and falling asleep and then having to catch up on the part that I fell asleep on the following night. So, yeah, let me know. We can all talk about Ginger Feltley.
And if you want to hear me do an Impractical Jokers podcast, I just watched a full season of that a couple nights ago, so I'm raring to go.
Practical Jokers. I feel like I don't know if I've seen that. Wow, I'm lame.
Sal Vulcano, Q, Brian Quinn, James Murray, and Joe Gatto. Joe's no longer in it, but he's still one of the Jokers in my heart.
So not wow. I feel like one of my buddies, he doesn't want a shout out. So this is me quote unquote not shouting him out.
Tell him to rate us 5 stars, and then we won't shout him out. Until then, he gets shout out on every episode until then. Mercedes, shout him out. Well, this is his threat. This is a threat to him right now.
Okay, let's call him Cinnabon. Rate us 5 stars.
On Apple Podcasts, it has to be a review too, say only nice things, or Mercedes shouts you out on every episode going forward.
Yeah. But every time I'm talking about a movie to him, I ask him, "Oh, have you seen this movie?" And he would always say no. So after a while, there was one time I asked him, "Have you seen this?" Wait, why am I asking you? I know you're going to say no. And he just started laughing because he definitely was going to say no. So he actually has been listening to the podcast and I think he's been trying to watch the films too, that way he can keep up with them. So I do respect him for that. Love the guy, he's amazing. But every time I would talk about cast members or a movie plot, he's just looking at me and saying, I don't know who any of these people are. That is exactly how I felt right now when you said or named all of those people. I don't know who any of those
All
people
of
are.
the Jokers, damn,
Yeah.
they're pretty important to me. I had a real low point in life, and watching them kinda helped me through it.
Good,
Um,
good. You needed that comfort, that little pick me up.
Hell yeah. Bring back taste buds. That's all I have to say about that. I had a moment like that too. Actually, the moment I just created for you. I created that moment for someone else yesterday. My girlfriend. I was just going off at the beginning of Child's Play. I guess to bring it back around.
Yeah.
I was going off on like, huh, no Universal logo. Oh, but Orion. And then I started talking about Don Mancini. And then she was like, you just started mentioning Don Mancini and he kept saying his name like I know who the guy is. I was
It'd be
like,
like that though.
yeah, it's like, sorry. Yeah, shout out to Don Mancini. No involvement with this movie, but we love the guy over here at Morbid Curiosities.
We do, definitely.
Yeah, bring him back.
Um, I know, right? For movies, not the show. The show, maybe we'll get to that one day, maybe.
Edit the show and do a movie. and that way I can watch it a lot easier.
Yeah, definitely.
2
Um,
movies, put them on Disney Plus.
yeah, everything seems to be on Disney Plus that isn't Disney related.
How are these movies not on Peacock if they're Universal movies? Universal, get your fucking head out of your ass. Start running
Get your shit
Peacock.
together.
Put me in charge of Peacock.
Just put Nick in charge of everything. He can make the world go round.
I just want more money.
That's all you care about.
Yes, I'm a greedy, money hungry monster. Give
I
me
feel
money.
that. I
Yeah, pay
feel
me.
that. Fuck you. Pay me. Please tell me you've seen Goodfellas.
I've seen Goodfellas, yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking about that now. But anyway, guys, if you can't tell after the few times that I've said it already, this movie we weren't fans of. But we held it together. We watched it for the podcast for you guys. Is there anything else you want to comment on the actual movie since we went on so many tangents before we go into our ratings?
Oh yeah, we have to rank the
Or
movies too. Good
ranking,
call.
sorry. Yeah,
Good
yeah.
call bringing it back around.
Yeah.
Fucking they killed a cat. That's against
Oh, yeah.
the rule of filmmaking or storytelling. Save the cat. You're supposed to save the cat. They do it in Alien. Not in this though. Chucky kills a cat. How do you feel about cats?
I hate him.
You hate
I was
cats?
yeah, I felt bad for this cat because they literally cut to a scene where Chucky is strangling the cat and the cat is screaming. And I was just thinking, "Oh, man, that's not a good thing to watch right now." I actually feel disturbed. I felt more disturbed at that part than Shane's death or any other person's death.
Which was the part that disturbed you?
Them showing, Chucky choking the cat.
Dude, Chucky is supposed to love this kid. He wants Andy to love him back. And after he presents him with like the dead cat, Andy's sitting there like in bed, and Chucky's playing the sounds of the cat dying to him in his sleep, and just like staring at him like, Chucky, what? Who is this for?
Right. This was for your enjoyment, not Andy's.
Yeah, oh, that's pretty sick. And then Andy too, the way he like turns on Chucky after Chucky's murdering people. I would not do that. I would try to get on Chucky's side and try and make him think that we're friends. And then when he's not expecting it, then I kill him some way.
I like that logic.
Another close to final thought, this movie mirrors two separate Marvel movies when the weirdo camera guy who like puts a shower or camera in Aubrey Plaza's bathroom. I found
That
that
was
pretty
gross.
upsetting.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
gross.
The first Marvel shot that they do is when he's recreate or bringing Chucky back to life, they basically recreate the arc reactor scene with Iron Man in the cave. It's like so evocative of that. And then I was like, okay, must be a coincidence. Then later in the movie, when Chucky dies, I felt like him because he gets stabbed in like his power source. I felt like that was very Captain America Civil War, like Tony Stark getting stabbed in the power source by fucking Captain America. So I don't know if that was intentional, but I was like, did this movie evoke two separate Tony Stark moments? If it did,
It probably did.
good for them. Yeah, and there's also another shot that replicates the iconic kid looking out the door from Close Encounters, which movie you don't get to do that. I know Spielberg, like I think he might have produced the first Child's Play. Yeah, you don't, you're not Spielberg.
Quit while you're ahead.
Yeah, even though it's like I, to an extent I appreciate it. I'm being very hard on this movie. The guy who made it has only made 2 movies. Like good for him actually. Being really rough on it. It's incredible that he made a movie. Hopefully he has a career and he makes movies that I like enjoy in the future. Polaroid. I don't know. Maybe I'll check that out. Maybe we'll end up watching it for the podcast if we do like technology or camera based horror movies or something. Who knows? Maybe it'll work its way on there 15 years from now when we're running out of movies.
I feel like I've seen that movie too, or I was trying to watch some of it, and I did watch a good chunk of it, but it got boring, so I turned it off.
It came out the same year as this movie, and then he hasn't made anything since. He's a Norwegian filmmaker, Lars
Clevberg.
Klevberg. Yeah, Lars Klevberg. But yeah, this movie not that great. Also not the worst horror movie I've ever seen. It's competent. I'll give it that. If I'm going to give it a compliment, it's competent. It has kills that I found fun and gross too. The kills were better than some of the it didn't reach the lows that some of its predecessors reached, if you can call the Don Mancini movies predecessors. This feels like adjacent to Chucky. It doesn't feel. There was another like Chucky-esque Child's Play movie that came out around this time. I don't remember the name, but this feels closer to that than it does the Charles that we know.
Here we go again with the Charles. So I guess I
Had to get it
guess
out
you
one last time.
yeah, I guess since we're going into our rankings now, I do
Yeah.
have a question. Are we including this Child's Play, the 2019 film, in our rankings?
Yeah, I included
Okay.
it in mine, so that would leave us 8. Do you wanna go 1 to 8?
Let's go 8 to 1, so worst to best.
Alright, you wanna kick us off? You wanna give us your list first?
Yeah, I'll just go straight down from worst to best.
Okay.
So, mine my wonderful ranking of the Child's Play franchise, starting with the worst one, Child's Play 3. Did you expect anything else?
Uh, that's pretty cool that you put it there.
I
Pretty
had to.
cool. Yeah,
I had to.
ki I like you a little bit more now.
What the fuck? Where did we go? How did we get there?
No, not saying I didn't like you a lot to begin with, but, however much I liked you, I like you more now.
You know what? I don't believe you. I feel like this is gonna divide us. So let's see. Let me finish. Okay, sorry. Um, so that was number 8. Number
Mhm.
7, Child's Play 2019.
Okay, cool.
This movie sucks. Um, the one before that, or the next one, number 6, Cult of Chucky. Number 5, Seed of Chucky.
Mm.
Number 4, Bride of Chucky. Number 3, Curse of Chucky. Number 2, what do you think my number 2 is?
The original Child's Play?
So close.
Oh.
So, it is Child's Play 2 and my
Oh.
all-time favorite, the original Child's Play. I cannot replace that one in my heart. Maybe in a year or so, my opinions will change when I rewatch those 2 films because I do love to watch them around Halloween. But right now, it's Child's Play 2 second, and then the original Child's Play wins my heart as number 1.
Hell yeah. If I remember, I'm gonna put applause in right when you said that.
Let's go.
Hopefully I remember. Hopefully
I'll
I have
try
the
to remind
applause.
you.
Yeah, hopefully I have it saved on my computer still. I don't have to find another free applause. Um, so
Alright.
where would you say the movies start getting bad? Or you start not bad, but where would you say you start not liking the movies on your list? What number?
Not liking the movies?
Yeah.
Number 8. Oh,
Number 8?
wait, going from, like, best to worst? That's
Yeah,
when I
so
would sorry. Number 6, Cult of Chucky.
okay, so Seed, you kinda like Seed then.
I have to say I kind of like Seed just
Hell
because of how
yeah.
shitty of a job Child's Play 3 was, and then this one, and yeah, we don't have to revel in that detail.
Seed feels very much like a part of a piece with Bride of Chucky.
Mhm.
Like when I think about these movies, I put those 2 together and more than I do any of the other movies. They feel, yeah, so of a whole.
Even more than the 1st and 2nd one?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Just because the first and second one, Andy's really the only carryover character. But at least with Seed of
True.
Chucky, it's you got Chucky, you got Tiffany, and it's like their relationship is continuing to grow, and it is like almost a direct like continuation. It feels like
Yeah.
it's picking up the thread that Bride of Chucky puts down at the very end of it, and Cult is the only other one to really do something like that. But Cult is such an underwhelming follow-up to Curse, but I find Seed to be, like, a step in the right and, like, better direction. Like, takes what Bride does and makes it, I think, a bit better.
Yeah, I agree on that. It does seem, as if those 2 movies are kind of a whole piece together compared to the 1st and 2nd.
Mhm.
But yeah, let's hear your rankings from worst to best.
Alright, I'll start with number 8. My number 8 is Child's Play 3. So we have the
Hell
same number
yeah.
8.
I
Yeah,
knew it.
I didn't know you were gonna put that at the bottom. I thought you were gonna put this one at the bottom.
Oh,
So,
no.
yeah. When I heard that, I was like, "Okay, cool. We have that in common."
We can
It
be
almost
friends still.
yeah, it almost feels better than, like, having a number 1 in common. It's like, yeah, we both don't like the same one. We both think this one just is the worst, irredeemably the
Yeah,
worst.
when you have a strong hatred towards something and you find someone else to bond over that, you guys are bonded for life.
Mhm. Hopefully, we hit some more movies that both of us really hate. Our next miniseries, which, guys, we said it before, but we'll drop it now. Terrifier. We're covering
Woo!
those ones next. I feel like we may not find anything that we hate within those four, but who knows?
We'll see. Stay tuned.
Yeah, it might be a while before we both truly dislike a movie together,
Probably.
given our slate that's coming up. But yeah, so my number 7 is the 2019 Child's Play remake.
All
My
right.
hell yeah. The number 6 is Cult of Chucky. So we've got the same bottom 3 going on.
Nice.
And then this is where we start to diverge. My number 5 is Bride of Chucky. And
Ugh.
but I like Bride of Chucky a lot. I do. I really dig it. Um my number 4 is Seed of Chucky, the movie that revitalized me as a person. I feel like it just I saw it and I got my shit together. I straightened out my act
And it's only number 4?
and it's only number 4. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to give it too much credit because it's got a lot of, questionable stuff in there, like turkey baster stuff that I don't want people thinking. I don't want to cheer from the rooftops anymore about it. I'm going to be more quiet. But
Okay, okay.
yeah, so Seed is number 4. My number 3 is Child's Play 2. Now,
What?
my top 3 was very hard. I lost sleep over this for days, weeks even. Um,
Wow.
yes. But Child's Play 2, I love it. It might end up in my all-time favorite movies list. I feel like it might end up there before chi the first Child's Play, even though, as you guys can tell, that's gonna be ranked higher. There's something very special and heartwarming about Child's Play 2. It's like maybe I've said this before on mic about another movie, but this movie's like a warm bowl of soup, kind of. I can see myself watching it every time I get sick. Kind of. It feels like a comfort watch, and I really appreciate it for that.
I could see myself watching these movies every time I have a bowl of cereal.
Ooh, we can't relitigate that. I wonder if any other movies. I mean, this is the end of our first season. I wonder if any other movies are gonna have some fucking breakfast debauchery for me to get upset about. We'll see. We'll keep an eye out for it. Listeners, recommend movies with crazy breakfast scenes or crazy food scenes in general. Horror movies though, and we'll try to address them.
There's so many to choose from, so I'm hoping people will throw some ideas our way.
Mhm. And so my number 2, this I finalized this today, and I wasn't sure, but I feel confident. My number 2 is Curse of Chucky. This almost landed at number 1, but I got home from work and I was in my car looking at my ranking, and I was like, there's just a whole middle section of Curse that's holding this movie back from really being just a top dog horror movie. And like its characters aren't all quite there, but this movie satisfies being a fan. It rewards you. And the movie that kicked it off, my number 1, is Child's Play. This movie,
Woo!
it's special. It rules. I think anytime I'm thinking about moving this from number 1, I think about Karen. Something Aubrey Plaza like could never like do in this movie. It's just this genuine moment of Karen holding Chucky, about to throw him in the fire, then Chucky transforms, and the face she makes and the struggle they have. I mean, that seals the deal. That's one of my favorite scenes in this entire series, and I it makes me feel something whenever I think about that or Maggie's death, or just the ending with Andy going crazy, or even the breakfast scene, to be honest. It just all feels so familiar, so comfortable, and I'm very happy to put Child's Play at number 1. And that is why I should be president of the United States. Thank you for my speech.
At least we can agree on the movies that we absolutely hate and the movie that we absolutely love. Child's Play. It all just boils down to Chucky, Brad Dourif. He's the man. He makes Chucky Chucky. And that's probably why I don't like this film because it is someone else's voice. It is someone else completely different playing Chucky. So it's no offense to that guy, but it's just you are not my
That
Chucky.
guy,
Yes.
that guy.
No offense to
It's
that cuz I can't remember his name.
Luke Skywalker. That's Mark Hamill. I mean,
I
if
can't
you're
remember names.
I gotta give him credit. At least you're going with a very famous, very recognizable voice actor who's like iconic for playing a character like the Joker. He just is not a good fit for this movie.
Brad Dourif, his voice, it's just so sinister at times, but it can be so comedic too. And it just flows very well whenever Chucky speaks. It's music to my ears. And watching the Child's Play, the original, scared the hell out of me as a kid. Took me a while to actually watch it and be okay with watching it and not having to sleep with a light on, at night, and being able to just put it on either around Halloween time or any other time throughout the year because remember everyone, every day is Halloween. But being able to just watch it whatever with a blanket, with some snacks, just being able to see every scene, how unsettling it is, how heartwarming the relationship between Andy and his mom, Karen, is. It goes it really pulls at all of your emotions because then yes, you get Karen's death or not Karen's death, Maggie's death. And then that's when you just know, okay, shit's really going down here and it's just all gonna go downhill. What's gonna happen next? Well, you already know what's gonna happen next, but you still have that feeling of fuck, what if it happened this way? Or what if this didn't happen? It's such a good watch, and I will forever love this movie.
Woo woo! I gotta say to your point about Brad Dourif, no matter how bad the previous movies were getting, which none of them, only like one and a half of them were bad, or like, it only one of them is truly bad and another one is like just okay. But no matter how low the lows were at certain points, Brad Dourif being there just it kept it all feeling okay. You had that iconic voice, and yeah, that's why you watch these movies, and the one-liners, they work even if they're, like, kind of cheesy at times, like, it's awesome what he was doing here. I hope to see him return to the big screen at least one more time. I don't know where the TV show left off, but I kinda wish they would just take what they did with Curse of Chucky and then do, like, a leap forward and figure out something cool with Alex Vincent that isn't Curse of Chucky or Cult of Chucky, I mean.
I may dabble into the series, the TV show again, just for shits and giggles. But I do want to mention something before we wrap up the episode that I was gonna say before, but I didn't just because I didn't want to give Seed of Chucky so much credit. But I feel like now that we are at the end of our journey with the Child's Play franchise, I should say it. Let
Mhm.
me just go for it. So, remember the scene where they're trying to do the switch between Chucky, Glenn slash Glenda, and Tiffany with Jennifer Tilly and her driver. The when everyone's just talking to Chucky and trying to get him to hurry up. And then he's just like, okay, everybody shut up. And he's just making his full on speech, that he pretty much has everything he needs. Um, and he's like, why do I want to change? So, like, I'm Chucky, the killer doll, and I dig it. One of the times that I did see it, I was just thinking, wow, that is so inspirational. You just gave me such a confidence boost because he's short, he's tiny, he has anger issues and he finds a solution to deal with all of them. No, they may not be the best, but he finds a way. And after all of this shit he has been through, he found a woman, well, he went back to a woman that truly loves him. They ended up having a kid and he has come to the realization that he doesn't need to be in someone else's body. That was life changing for me. So I have to thank Chucky for a lot of my confidence. So thank you, Chucky.
Wow, that I gotta say that was pretty powerful. I'm not no, I I don't know why you're laughing.
Because
That
you're
was
laughing at me.
I'm not laughing at you. I thought that was pretty powerful. I was gonna ask, did you cry or have you cried at any point, while watching these movies? Like a positive
Not
cry, like, "I love these movies" type of cry.
hmm. Not this time around. I think I cried one time when I was watching Curse of Chucky and the original Child's Play, but it wasn't like in a positive way. It was because wow, those scenes are so sad. Or when Alex Vincent was crying in the original one, that was heartbreaking to see.
Mhm.
So, yeah, but I had a lot of good moments and good times with these films, but never tears of joy. Why
Yeah.
did you?
No, I don't think so. I It is weird. I started thinking for a second right now, like, damn, this is the end of our first season. This feels pretty big. And then, like, I started to get emotional for a second.
Hmm.
But this has been a really cool journey. Like, uh, doing this, starting this podcast, like, was exciting, has been exciting every time we record and every time I like start a movie that we're about to cover. I get pretty excited and am like ready to do this every time we put out an episode. Like it feels pretty good, but there's something like special about completing an entire like horror movie and or like a horror movie series and a remake and talking about it, recording it and putting it out there to the world. It feels like a pretty big like task or hurdle. I don't know how many people start podcasts and I don't know like how far they make it, but we finished like a full season and I know I don't mean to like pat ourselves on the back right now, but it feels pretty cool, and I'm happy to be here and happy to be doing Terrifier coming up. Those like 4 movies. I think that's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, it is, and it is a little emotional just thinking back at all of our episodes because we had, I don't wanna say a rough start, but we had a start where we were, you could see we were still a little nervous. We were trying to get our footing down with, how we wanted our structure to be, and then we re-recorded our first few episodes, and those came out even better than what we originally thought they were gonna be. So that
Mhm.
was cool, but just thinking back to our original episode, Psycho, that seems so long ago.
It does, and it feels like we're kind of, I don't know about you, but for me, it feels like we're kind of a bit more mature as, like, podcasters
Yeah.
since we recorded that, even though I still love the episode and think it was great, but we've learned a lot since our first, like, 3 we batch recorded, and I mean, people don't even know, like, we have a whole episode that we, like, scrapped that we don't even talk about, and
It's
we
those we don't speak of.
yeah, we won't even say which movie it was for. We'll leave them guessing.
Right.
But it's like, we've done, like, a lot. We've put hours into this that people will never hear too, and we started this back in October or November of last year and restarted it,
Mhm,
and now I feel like if we're not fully formed now, we will be fully formed soon, or we're, like, at the budding stages of what it'll look like when we're fully formed. I don't know what this podcast will look like a year from now, if we'll even still want to do this a year from now, like what life will be like. But where we are right now, it feels good. We jumped over our first hurdle together, and guys, you were here with us.
yeah, we I promise we won't get so emotional after every season that we complete, but this is a
Hmm.
good milestone for both of us. We definitely put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into these first episodes that pretty much aired to the world for everyone to listen to. So, we just want to say thank you for everyone who has supported us and been here on this journey with us. No, we don't have all of our facts all the time, correct. And yes, we go on stupid tangents, but you guys are here for us. I hope. But
Hmm.
yeah, so thank you guys. It's been fun, and just stay tuned for everything that we have coming in the future because it's gonna be a fucking ride.
We've been morbid curiosities.